So we got a big surprise here Monday. IGN News drops on us the next little teaser trailer for the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Earthrise. And this is at this point we had one big, nice, 2-minute trailer. We got a little teaser that kind of just showed us the date of the release. And now we got a second one here. This is probably going to be the last any kind of trailer or teaser or anything of that manner. The release date is scheduled for December 30th. So we're going to get a nice little present after the holidays, but before New Year's. It's still probably going to be 6 episodes. And this trailer, we're going to break down everything, but we're also going to look back a little bit at the 2 previous little teasers and trailers that we got and try to paint a big picture of what's going on here. Look at all the little pieces, who's in the show, what's going on, and do that. So let's sit back and enjoy. Once again, there's going to be spoilers. I actually changed the thumbnail of this segment just so for people that don't want to be spoiled, they won't see what you guys are going to be seeing on the little, the little images that I put at the bottom here. So that being said, so this trailer now, it has a captured Optimus Prime and his crew brought in by the Quintessons, so it gives us a little bit more of a continuation of what we saw from the last trailer. I'm going to paint a big picture when this is all said and done. Then we have, obviously, Megatron, and he's contemplating what's going on back on Cybertron, and he's obviously talking to another individual. And we have Optimus Prime also having visions of alternate destinies and alternate futures, which is a big theme that's going to be happening with the next segment of this whole trilogy, which is going to be Kingdom, where we're going to be talking about alternate destinies and alternate timelines. And we have Optimus coming face to face, very much like Luke Skywalker when he faced Vader in the Dagobah cave. He sees Nemesis Prime, and a black Optimus Prime repaint for people that aren't familiar with that. That's the spoiler pack figure that's going to be popping up in stores very soon at Walmart. So that's the big spoiler. That's the first big spoiler of this trailer for people that aren't in the know. So he's going to be facing off an evil version of himself. Probably going to, do some significance that he could become this one day or something. And then it's more action, more explosions, more, showing what's going on back home on Cybertron with Elita 1 and everything and her crew. And it finally leads to Megatron in his ship, the Nemesis. Oddly enough, same name as this Prime here. We have him in his ship, and he's being boarded by another ship that is coming through a temporal time warp. And a character gets on the ship, tackles him, and tells him that you got to get the Matrix from Optimus Prime. And lo and behold, that ship is from the future, and it's Galvatron talking to his younger self, Megatron. And that's the big twist. Oh, Galvatron's here. And that's pretty much it. It shows that Galvatron's going to be in the show in some shape or form. Obviously, we know about Galvatron is going to be a figure in the Kingdom line, in the leader class price point. So this, in a lot of ways, this might also be an indicator of how our Galvatron toy is going to look. So if that is the case, yay, extremely G1 show accurate, aka 86 movie accurate. So that's pretty cool. I dig that a lot. We also get a shot at Unicron quickly. It's probably going to be it's probably not Unicron being in the show so much. It's probably going to be a flashback origin story explaining, Galvatron probably explaining to Megatron who he is. And then Megatron glows with some red energy, possibly some Unicronian dark energon, who knows. We'll definitely see what happens with that. But that's it. And then, of course, we get the big, hey, check it out. Optimus's Matrix is glowing. Who knows what all that's going to lead to. So the way that I break this down, first of all, is I feel that the first trailer that we got really is going to represent the first 3 episodes. So Optimus Prime landing on a mysterious planet, getting some visions of the future. At some point, he either gets attacked, captured, and brought in by the Mercenaries. The Mercenaries are going to play a big part in this second part, this Earthrise Chapter 2. And Double Dealer captures all of them, brings them to the Quintessons onto what looks like a Quintesson ship that's very bizarre looking. We're introduced to the Quintessons. There's probably some kind of escape. some kind of scuffle with Megatron when he finally catches up with them. And of course, at some point, Megatron is going to have this confrontation with Galvatron and told what he should do for his own future and his own destiny, because he knows what's going to go down, and with Unicron and everything. And supplementing the side of this story is going to be everything happening back on Cybertron, because we see Elita 1 having to deal with Shockwave, who's clearly behind back there, and finding out what's going on with that. So that's going to be probably the bulk of it over the 6 episodes. Obviously, I'm simplifying it. What I made is I made a list looking at every character thus far that I could see across all the different footage. So for the Autobots, we have Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Wheeljack, Prowl, Ironhide, RC, Hound, and Mirage, and that's part of Optimus's, I guess, crew that's in the Ark. Cog does make a quick appearance. I don't know if he gets captured with the other Autobots, with the Quintessons, because he isn't seen in any of those scenes. He's only seen in the Ark scene, so I don't know where Cog is in the rest of this story. Of Elita 1's crew back on Cybertron, we got Elita 1, Red Alert, Chromia, and Jetfire, newly minted to the Autobots. On the Decepticon side, very thin from what I could see here. We pretty much just got Megatron, Galvatron, who makes his first appearance here, some form of Reflector. Could be Reflector, could be Scrapface, could be one of many things. But some kind of Reflector mold. Skywarp and or Hotlinks, again, could be one or the other. Probably Hotlinks more than Skywarp for multiple reasons. No Starscream, oddly enough, no Starscream. He'll probably be there, just we're just not seeing him here in all this footage. And then of course Shockwave is seen in a reflection, courtesy of Elita 1. We go to the Mercenaries, and the Mercenaries / miscellaneous characters. We got obviously the Quintessons, Double Dealer, Bug Bite, which is the white Bumblebee repaint, Exhaust, the red and white Wheeljack repaint. We got the 3 Coneheads of Thrust, Ramjet, and Dirge that are now part of the Mercenaries, according to this story. We have the Nemesis Prime, which is the spoiler box black repaint Optimus Prime. And we have the Quintesson generic drones that are working for them, which are all like gray and white Ironhides, which makes me wonder if we'll ever get some repaints of them for army building. And then last but not least, of course, obviously Unicron makes that quick, flash on the screen. And then finally, just to like cover this list, I also like, the ships and stuff. So we see the Ark, we see the Nemesis, we see the classic Quintesson screwdriver ship, the screw ship that was seen in the 86 movie. We see what looks like Galvatron ship. It's probably a new version of the Revenge. For people that don't know, Galvatron ship in the 86 movie was called the Revenge. It wasn't really established anywhere. It's more written in scripts and stuff like that. And of course we see Double Dealer. He has his own little tiny ship. That's probably how he captured all the Autobots and took them to the Quintessons with that one. And that's more or less it. A lot of different sceneries, a lot of different environments, really opening up the world of Transformers in this iteration. Very Flint Dille in writing style, so I appreciate that. Flint Dille was one of those few that really wanted to open up the world of Transformers with Season 3 of the original 1984, 85, 86 cartoon. So awesome stuff. Really good. Really, really good. Like this a lot. A lot of intriguing stuff. I know I'm probably missing something here. I was really trying to break it down piece by piece, see which characters. Obviously there's probably, pixel-sized characters in the background that are going to be featured in this, but it's really good to see Unicron featured. Hasbro has that HasLab toy coming. So to create that synergy with people who purchased that, HasLab figure for a huge amount of money, including me, and to have some kind of representation of that in our fiction is always nice to make us feel good about our purchase. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure it was part of the big deal of making this figure was, they probably turned to Hasbro CEOs and said, look, we're going to have this in our big Netflix thing too. So having this figure is going to be a nice cross promotion. It's one of those things that they should have dropped this whole, they should have had the whole HasLab backing system done during all of this or post this and create that hype. And then probably there would have been more interest. But again, timing is everything with that, isn't it? This also kind of gives more of a clear indicator with that Netflix Series 2 of toys that we have coming. So, Elita 1's going to be part of that wave and stuff like that. If it hasn't already showed up in stores today, Some people have been picking it up, but it gives more context to that. So a lot of those toys that are featured in that Netflix Wave 2 of toys seem to more parallel what's going on here, at least with this series. So that's good. That's some good stuff. Very happy with everything I see here. I just hope that it's well written. I hope the voice acting is really good. The first time around, I was kind of bored a little bit. There was good and there was bad. Like I said, I give it like a solid 7. This one looks more exciting. It gets more into that open world and exploration of Transformers and the bigger scheme of things. So it should be pretty interesting to see what goes down. I just want to also note that, it looks like it's already, planting the seeds for what will be such a major change when we get to part 3 or chapter 3 with Kingdom. Because Kingdom is the Beast Wars. Kingdom is, prehistoric Earth, and so many, slot of different characters that, I look at this one, and this one uses, just to pull up the list from what I know of characters that are there. I mean, primarily, almost all of the characters here are character models, and this is looking at the CG of things. Everything here is either character models that we've already seen in Siege, or retooling and twisting around of character models that we have gotten in Siege that are now here. So, all the Autobots from top to bottom, there's nobody new this time around. Nobody new in terms of character models. When you look at the Decepticons, Galvatron's the new character model, and that's literally about it. When you look at the Mercenaries, the Quintesson's a new character model, Double Dealer's a new character model, but Bug Bite, Exhaust, all the Coneheads, and I talked about this in the past with the Coneheads. The Coneheads are literally they're not even really that unique. They have the Coneheads, but their bodies are 100% just Starscream, Seeker repaints. They didn't even bother with the unique individual wings that Coneheads normally have. The Quintesson generics, again, it's just using the Ironhide design. The ships themselves, the Ark is still the Ark, so they still have that character model. All the other ships should be technically unique to themselves. And even the Nemesis Prime, it's a Black Optimus, so that's not going to be unique in itself. So there's not a lot of new assets this time around. It's using a lot of the same assets, just new environments and new backgrounds and stuff like that. 1 or 2 or 3 new character models. There's probably going to be more, of course. This is just the trailers that we're basing this off of, but it really looks like it's a lot more of older character assets that have been used before, which then makes me go, okay, when we get to Kingdom, which has all these new characters, a whole new generation of Transformers in a lot of ways with Beast Wars, how much of that is going to be more bleed over from Earthrise and Siege, as opposed to, are we going to get a new, because like I said, there's 3 new character models here that we see. When we're going to get into Kingdom, we're going to want Optimus Primal. We're going to want Cheetor. We're going to want Dinobot. We're already at 3 right there. We're going to want Megatron, Beast Wars Megatron. We're going to want, Scorponok. We're going to want Waspinator. We're going to want so many of those other characters, let alone the fossilizer gimmick, if that's even going to be put into play, which is a whole other price point, let alone the giant Ark ship Transformer. Is that going to be a new character asset? So there's a lot of questions to ask there, because a lot of people really want to have a whole bunch of new characters going into Kingdom based on what that toy line is, and it really makes me wonder. So that's for a whole another rant and a whole other future kind of discussion. But that kind of breaks down what we have here. It's still very exciting. So December 30th, 2020 on Netflix. This is going to be up 6 episodes. Hopefully this is going to be a good one, and hopefully it pulls in the big numbers that the original one did. It was trending for the first couple of days in the top 10 on Netflix, so it gave Hasbro confidence in this being a good platform in order to tell stories in a half-hour format, which is nice after what happened with Cyberverse, where everything was 10-minute episodes, which is quite blah, in my opinion, for a storytelling kind of format. So let me know what you think about this. I must have missed something. I get a feeling I must have missed one character or two. I tried to go through this and pick it apart across the 2 trailers and the 1 teaser, but I think I got everything thus far. There must be more to this, though. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're hyped about this. And by December 30th, you'll get a review from me, and we'll break down everything that we see back then.